Welcome to Spirited Straight Talk, the podcast to help you thrive with the help of spirit. I'm Deb Shepard, psychic medium, spiritual teacher, and author. Each week, I bring new insights to help you heal from loss, connect with spirit, and turn setbacks into triumphs. So let's get started. So Dana, I have a couple questions to ask you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because you don't know what I'm going to ask, right?
I don't.
So what if the IRS made a really big mistake and decided that they owed you over $100,000? How would that feel?
Well, it would be crazy. And I would also question it and say, are you sure? Because if I take it and spend it, I don't want to have to pay it back.
So you went to fear. Okay, so what if you got a lottery ticket as a gift and you ended up winning $500,000?
Sweet.
Okay. Oh, so there's a difference between the IRS and that?
There is.
Okay, that's an
The
energy.
IRS is scary.
Or take the millions and run and see if they can find you, right? Change your name. So I've been working with the mentoring groups here for the last year, especially in the solutions group, and these women are amazing. And today we had a Q&A to follow up on some things from their class the other week. What is amazing is they're really understanding the idea of receiving without guilt. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to talk about
they're
today.
Grasping that, or they're embracing it?
They're embracing it. They're getting it. They are rock stars right now. And this has been a year of looking at the limiting beliefs that we have that we get from a very young age. So, we're told as a kid, don't be selfish. It's better to give than to receive. And
money doesn't grow on trees.
Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard to get there. All these types
I don't want to work hard.
Me neither.
I want to work smart and receive a lot.
Okay, from the IRS, but no.
I mean, if they owe me money, then yeah.
Good. Okay, but this is about just learning to receive. So as we've talked about and what I've taught in these classes is the whole idea of when someone gives you a compliment, what do we say a lot of times? Like, oh,
me?
Yeah, me.
What?
Yeah.
We're surprised at compliments. Yeah.
Your hair is really beautiful, Dana.
Oh, I got it cut a couple days ago. Do you like it?
Yeah. But do we also say
an excuse?
We do give an excuse. We just don't say thank you. I've seen this and I've done this. I don't do it anymore as much. But when someone says, "Oh, really great outfit," and you talk about, where you got it, it's on sale, you've had it for a long time, all those kind of stories. So it creates this idea that we're not allowed to receive, or we push back that energy. And so what we're talking about today is how to really receive without guilt and shame. Mm-hmm. Because those are the things that take away. So when someone gives you something, is to honor it. So, maybe you have a family recipe and you bring it to a gathering and someone goes, "God, I really love that." And you go, "Oh, well, I had to kind of, improvise today because I didn't have all this stuff." Just saying thank you. There's real struggles with that. I think men are better at it than women, but we certainly have that energy. So if you're a person that wants to manifest a lifelong partner, you want to manifest another opportunity for a career or make more money, maybe buy a home, whatever that looks like, it could be simple as getting, well, it's not simple, but getting your better health or just trying to make transitions easier. Mm-hmm. What if you want to hear from your loved ones or your guides?
Well, I better learn to receive messages.
Good job, grasshopper. Yes. And so it all plays in. So as you've heard me talk about over the years is the symbol, the yin and yang, which is the black and white symbol. And it's all about balance. So if we have the sun too much, we can burn up. We need the moon for tides and all that kind of stuff. So we're designed to be balanced. And the yin and yang means female and masculine, or feminine and masculine energy. And I always ask people, which one's feminine? And we get the answer of, I'm trying to prompt you. White.
Yeah. People typically answer that white is feminine.
Right, which is not. So the black is feminine because we need to receive to procreate. We're designed as women is to have babies. And so we're there and it's born out of the womb, which is darkness, and we are the moon. This is why you see women that are Wiccas or what other kind of belief systems are out there celebrating the moon because it's the night. It's that energy. Masculine is white because it is the sun. It is that energy of giving, and we cannot procreate without that energy of giving to receiving. So if you're a person that's really a giver, you're carrying in a lot of masculine energy and you're not balancing it with receiving. So what's going to happen when you give and give and give and give and give, you get exhausted, you get tired, you get burnt out. And generally what can happen if you're not learning to receive, you may get sick. So you have to ask for help. Do you remember the story that I had with a lady that several years ago, and she was just unwilling to balance her receiving. She just wanted to take care of everybody. I said, well, you're going to break a leg and end up having to ask for help. She came back about a year later because she had fallen in the garage and broke both of her legs. She was, I need to learn to receive.
Wow.
And
that's a crazy story.
It is crazy. I mean, I felt really bad that I said that, but what does it take for us to learn to receive? When can we say no? And we have a lot of guilt to help other people, or guilt if we don't help other people.
Right.
Is the
guilt and shame.
Guilt and shame. Big drivers, and those are low energy vibrations. The other thing that we struggle with as humans, especially women, is if we ask for help, we don't want to bother somebody. They're too busy. I don't want to feel weak. I don't want to feel needy. That whole story versus realizing that if you're out of balance, your body's going to feel it. Things in your life you're going to experience. So if you feel like you're constantly having things taken away, because your energy vibration says, I like to give. I'm here to give.
The universe is going to take.
Because that's your energy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So some of the simple ways to make changes in this is to, what we just talked about. When you get a compliment, just say thank you. Asking people for help with things, even if it's your groceries, even if it's something very simplistic, to learn how to shift that idea that receiving is okay. Some of the ways is to look at, let's say someone gives up their seat for you. Take the seat. Don't apologize. Don't say you don't need it. This is another chance for someone to give to you so that you can learn the whole energy of receiving. If someone splits a piece of pie in half, are you going to let them have the bigger piece? Well, I'm not, but would you?
Let them have that.
Give the other person. So if someone gives you the bigger piece, take the bigger piece of pie.
Well, if it's given to me, I guess so. Yeah.
I guess it would look kind of weird if you cut the pie and go, I'm getting the bigger piece. You need to lose weight. But how much time do we feel guilty? Like, oh, you give me the bigger piece versus saying, hey, they gave you the bigger, here's your seat. Here's, let me open the door for you. When those simple things start happening, you want to then really feel it in your heart. You want to say, I am learning to receive, and this is okay. The interesting part about giving is we feel better about ourselves when we give to another human being, right? What we do in our practices, we're always helping people through hard things. And so it does make us feel better, right? That you made their lives easier. But you don't want to be addicted to that. Don't keep looking for people that have problems so you can feel better about yourself.
Right.
It's more empowering people that's better than looking for that person that is in that situation where, oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you.
We call that soul sucking.
Yes. Yeah.
When you constantly give and then you get people that's all they want. They need from you.
And you're going to attract that.
And you're going to attract that.
And you keep thinking, well, why do they keep coming back to me? It's like, well, you started the foundation. You didn't ask for an exchange of energy.
And the funny thing is when you start to set boundaries, they flip out.
Get upset.
Like you have to set those boundaries, right?
So if you think about creating a balance, you want to be able to have both sides of everything kind of basically turn out equal. And the only way that can happen is when you take those opportunities to say, it's okay for me to receive. If you're here to learn to receive, a lot of times you have to get to a really icky place to learn how to receive. Because
unless you realize it now.
Yeah. So you don't have to wait.
Doing it now.
Yes.
Don't wait. You don't want to break two legs.
No. And the guilt and shame that we bring up again, if you want to hear from your loved ones and your guides, that guilt and shame is a lower vibration. So if you feel guilty receiving, that means it's going to also affect you receiving messages from the other side.
So I know we're going to talk more, but you put together 6 simple ways that people can begin this process, begin to learn how to receive. And you'll share those in a minute.
Absolutely.
But I think that's great because I think you have to start somewhere.
Simple.
Learning how to receive. Yeah. And I remember in the classes, I bet you're going to say this.
Go ahead.
Without me even knowing what you put down as your tips, you in your classes have people make a point to tell them that the next time they go to the grocery store and get groceries, their assignment is to let the bagger take their groceries.
Not the beggar, the bagger.
Yes. Yeah. And so that you teach,
it's hard.
You teach that in one of your classes. You actually instruct them that that's what they need to do for one of their assignments. Let the bagger at the grocery store take your groceries for you and load them in your car to begin to learn to receive, which I think makes an impact every time.
Well, what happens is you realize at that moment how uncomfortable it is, where this is the person's job. Really, they're not going to walk away and go, I can't believe she had me bag her car or his car. They're probably like, God, I get a break. I get to get out of the store.
Get some fresh air for a minute. Yeah.
And so that we worry so much about other people. But when we feel better helping others. When you don't let them help you, you're taking away that enjoyment for them to feel good about themselves. And I give the example a lot of times when children are 5, 6, even our grandchildren, they want to help out. Let me stir. Let me take out the trash. They're all excited. Of course, when they're...
Well, we have a 2-year-old granddaughter. And the entire time she's like, I'll do it. Yeah. So that's part of
her feeling good.
Yeah.
Finding her ego. And we want to support that ego of confidence. So when you take that away from somebody and not letting them help you, going back to the child, letting them help you builds confidence. When they get to be 12 or 13, they're not going to want to help you. They're like, no, I'm going to hide in the other room. But it's realizing that really supporting people and giving them the ability to help you is that energy of, I guess I helped so-and-so today. I feel so much better. You're actually helping them become more empowered by doing that.
Yeah.
And so you may think it's a weakness or that you're needy. That's not the case. And don't compare you receiving to other people being needy. If you're playing the lottery and you're trying to figure out ways to manifest money, then you better freaking learn how to receive. Because that's without guilt. Because
I want to win the lottery without guilt.
Yes. And it's also realizing what do you do? Because then if someone gets a lot of money, then what I hear a lot of, which I think is hysterical, if you won the lottery, what would you do? Well, I would take care of my kids. I would donate this money. And I'm like, wait a minute, why are you giving it away right away? Now, I'm not saying you can't support your community. What I'm saying is the first thing is giving it away versus, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it.
I go on vacation. I'm going to buy a new car.
Maybe I'm going to stuff a mattress with all my money and sleep on it. But people immediately go into, how do we give it away?
Yeah.
Because they're worried about judgment of having that much and to make it's judgment again versus saying, I'm just going to enjoy my life. I've been wanting this and I'm going to have some freedom.
So I have a question for you. If we come into a lot of money, do we tell everyone? Do we tell anyone?
No.
Not one person.
We just, maybe our accountant, our investor, our finance advisor.
Yeah.
But really,
I don't want to be shamed
because people do, well, I can't believe they're not spending, there's that energy of judgment from it versus we don't tell people what we make, what's in our bank account. So why do we have to tell them about the lottery?
True.
But if you're winning the money and it's big, don't feel immediately to give it away because that's all about guilt and shame. With that said, you are also okay to put money into a community to help them out if that brings you joy. But don't make that your first thing if you're learning how to receive.
Because then how are you going to receive love or how are you going to receive abundance in other
support,
ways?
No judgment. And, we're talking about money a lot because it's just an easy way to talk about receiving. But like you said, if you're looking for a life partner, if you're looking for job opportunities, if you're wanting to connect with your guides, it's all the same energy vibration. It's all the same thing. So question yourself when you get a compliment. Let's say, which is a big deal, I know for you, when you're driving in the freeway and someone doesn't let you in when you have your blinker on, right? The receiving part is learn to receive to say, this person's going to let me in. That would be a good test. Yeah. Or I'm going to get those tickets easily for that show or that game. It's about you realizing it doesn't have to be a challenge.
I just assume that everything's going to come easy. I really do. Like I said,
Well, that's why
yeah, I'm definitely, this is going to happen. Or, whatever.
Well, that's why you got together with me, because I was easy.
Oh my God.
No, but it really is.
Can we edit that out?
But when you look at this, is how do you want to do it? Where is your first beginning of your belief system?
Mhm.
As a child, what were you told about money? What were you told about abundance or being loved, having a community?
Yeah.
Because even a community that's supporting of you is receiving. So if you feel alone and you want to create a community, that's about receiving.
So when I first got into learning this years ago, manifesting and the universe through The Secret, through
Right.
watching The Secret.
The law of attraction.
A little bit about the law of attraction, which you have a new term for law of attraction. I can't wait to hear it.
Good.
Going through all that, I remember that I would have a daily mantra. I would just pick one. I had a bunch and I would just pick one for the day. And I would carry that with me for the entire day. I would look at that.
I love it.
So I would carry that energy. I would carry the energy of money comes easily and freely, abundance in love and relationships, whatever it was that I was looking for.
Well, because you were in sales too, so it might be abundance of clients.
Yeah. Heads towards money.
Yeah. But I mean, it can be all those areas of receiving. I'm going to receive all the phone calls I need to close my quota for this month. Whatever that is.
That word gives me the chills.
Yeah, because you're not that anymore. Because I have a quota for you every month. If you're looking for a house or an automobile or anything in your life, you want to be able to say it comes easily. It doesn't have to have that hard.
For love.
Yeah.
And I think they have trouble finding it, or relationships or friendships. And so
That's that community.
knowing you can manifest that can create it.
If you're looking for a relationship and you want to receive, this is really important to know, because if you're a healer, caregiver, you're always the one taking care of everybody. This is my suggestion. You don't want to be a nurse or a purse. You don't want a project. You want a partner. If you're attracting people in your life where you're always taking care of them, that's because you're not balanced in the receiving side as well. So you want to be able to say, if I keep attracting people that want to take, and I'm always there giving up and giving my energy and I'm exhausted, that's because you need to learn to receive in other aspects of your life.
Right.
And stop. I always say, stay in your lane. Quit trying to take care of everybody else. Let them find their way too, which is important.
And to that point, you always teach that if you are constantly fixing everything for everyone, you're taking their lesson.
You're going to take away their opportunities. That's the big thing, is just changing that mindset. There are people that we can help, and we do want to be part of that community, and we do want to be able to give, but that's not the only purpose we're here. We are here to create that balance. That's the energy, that's the intention people want to start. And you can even start thinking, how am I learning to receive today? What am I going to receive today? How can I understand this? So some of the things we talked about is, how do you get these things? How do you shift that thinking? First of all, is if you get a compliment, don't show them the stain, where you bought it. You've had it for a long time. It was the only thing that was clean. It was on sale. It was the only thing in my closet that was clean.
So these are the easy ways to start to realize how to receive.
Say thank you.
Okay.
That's it.
Number one, say thank you.
To say thank you. 2, when someone opens the door or allows you to be served before them, what do you say?
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Just open the door, say that. People go, yeah, I can do that. But I've also seen people struggle. Let's see, if I open the door for a man, he may then feel like he needs to take that role. So I understand that energy, but a lot of times we feel like we need to then help that person versus
just saying thank you and receiving.
Do you ever think about little
showing
kids?
Gratitude.
Yeah.
That's what all you're doing.
Yeah. Showing gratitude. I love it when there's like a 5-year-old little boy at the door and you're at a restaurant or a store and they open the door feeling so proud, realizing again that they're feeling like a grown-up. So honor that too. And I think people do, but again, that's another opportunity to receive.
Yeah.
If you're given a bigger piece of the pie, we talked about earlier, the better seat, the last French fry. Now that's mine.
That sounds like you. I'll give you the last French fry.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'll receive. Yeah. Especially if they're still warm. Again, it's it's not being selfish. It's okay when someone says, I want you to have that, just like you would do for somebody else, except the French fries for me. But everything else is when someone does that, that's going to make them feel better that day. It's going to know that they did it. They made you feel happier.
That they did something for
you.
Someone else.
Yeah. Let them have that opportunity to feel good about themselves.
Imagine if we would all walk around with that energy.
Be great.
Just being in gratitude for what you're receiving.
Yes.
Versus always feeling like you're sucked dry of energy.
And I think a lot of
filling your bucket. You always talk about
filling your bucket. I think for some people, when they don't receive, is they're feeling they're not enough.
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
The feeling of I'm not enough, so I need to give. And, I've been taught that the more you give, the more you receive. Well, that doesn't ever work because I haven't seen it. I've always seen that it becomes out of balance and you're spiral. So it's really saying I'm allowed to give, but I'm also allowed to receive. I have permission. And if you keep saying, if I could just win the lottery, if I could just find that soulmate, but you can't take a compliment, you have to rethink your belief system. Yeah.
I agree.
And just give me the last fry.
I agree because I've learned. I received my lesson.
Yeah. One of the big things I've talked about for years and years and years is when someone takes you out to eat for dinner or lunch or whatever, that breakfast, I don't care. And when you're sitting there, you're like excited that someone's taking you out because maybe there's a good reason, or maybe they just want to do this. And then you look at the menu and think about, well, I wonder what cost this is. What's the price? I don't want them to overspend. I don't think that I'm greedy or selfish. And then maybe you don't even order a drink. You just say, I'll just have water.
How do you know what they have in their pocketbook?
Right. Is that what you want other people to? Actually, when I take people out, I want them to take the cheaper one. No, just kidding. I don't. But if you're really, that person is really giving to you, they want you to have it. And so
take someone out, I want you to have
what you wanted.
What you want.
Yeah.
I want to treat you.
Right. Yeah. Don't say you'll pick up the tip. Don't say I'll buy it next time. Say thank you. And that's a hard one to do because we feel like I need to return it.
You feel like you're taking advantage of someone.
Even though they're offering.
They want to give to you.
Let them feel good about it. If you feel like you want to pay forward, then find another opportunity to do that. You don't have to do it with the individual that just gave to you.
Yeah.
Because it kind of takes away their power. Yeah. Well, it takes away this, they enjoyed doing this for you. And you just said, oh, but mine's better.
I know better.
Yeah. You can give to me, but I have to give back. And I have to have the equal exchange. There are times when that's necessary, but generally speaking, if someone wants to take you out, then just receive it, take it. And I think you talked about earlier about taking the groceries out. And I remember talking to the students and they're like, well, I want to bag them my way. And I don't want them to feel like I can't do it. And all these limiting beliefs that we go through, which is really wrapped around our limiting belief that we feel that we can do it all on our own. If you are doing everything on your own and you have no help and you're feeling as you're exhausted, then you're manifesting exactly what you're believing. And to me, it's like you don't get to complain until you make a change. The whole thing about giving in a lot of aspects, it does make you feel better. Our spiritual DNA and human DNA is designed to be able to support those that struggle. So when we think that someone's giving something to us, we may be thinking or projecting, I wonder if they think I'm struggling or having a hard time. Well, what if you are? Who cares? They want to give the gift. They want to be able to make your life easier. They just feel like, I really think that this would be great for you. Mm-hmm. And even if you don't like the gift, I mean, there's times you're like, oh,
gift it.
Or just in gratitude, receive it. That someone, and the more that you start noticing that, that's when these little things start happening where someone buys you your coffee or you're in line and someone else opens up another line. So you're first in line. So you get to get out quicker. Yeah. All these little things start showing up.
Yeah. And we see this over and over and over again as you teach your mentoring students in the solution program. Mm-hmm. We see it over it. But as you start to have them really practice manifesting, it starts to happen. And they're like, oh my gosh, this shit works.
Well, that's what someone was saying today. She goes, you better be careful because this does work.
So true.
And that's the excitement that you can see this thing shift so quickly. It's pretty amazing because, we've been studying, I've been studying for over 2 decades, feng shui and energy and how these things work. And it does work. If you're having a hard time right now manifesting what you desire, then look at your limiting belief when it comes to receiving. Mm-hmm. Bottom line. Write down what you believe, write down what you were told. And people think, well, I don't really believe that anymore. But if you're not receiving, then there's still something in there that's the residue or energy around it. And we can make it easier for sure. To go along with this, write down your limiting belief. Start looking at what you want to manifest, taking opportunities every day, and even writing them down or taking note about learning to receive. And for some reason, I'm even getting this idea, like if you want to win money on the radio, you've got to learn how to receive. Mm-hmm. If you want to be able to get that free item, learn to receive. Mm-hmm. If you want that promotion or that even recognition about your job and what you're doing, you want to be able to receive. Mm-hmm. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that you have a strong ego. It means that you've worked hard to be able to create the balance. What I also teach a lot of is the ego is really important to have. A lot of people in this type of belief system feel like the ego is bad. To me, the ego helps me get on a podcast or radio or TV or whatever to be able to do the work that I do. And part of that is it's okay to receive. It doesn't mean I'm better than somebody else. It's just a creation of the balance of our universe.
Ego, healthy ego.
Healthy ego.
About healthy ego, not an imbalanced.
I'm better than everybody else, or I
healthy, confident ego.
Yeah. And I don't call this a gift because I believe it's an ability, and that's the balance of the ego. But you and I like to give back to the community, but we also learn to receive the clients, the students, all that, so that we can take care of ourselves,
right,
in a healthy way. So what I'm going to encourage everyone to do is really start thinking about what they want to manifest. Why are they being blocked? And what is that layer of, I can't just ask for help, or where is my guilt if I get a compliment? Even we talked about winning the lottery. Don't have any guilt. Why do you have to immediately decide it goes to everybody else? Mm-hmm. Just embrace it for a little while.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us once again on Fair to Straight Talk. Follow us as much as you can on our website and download our free dream interpretation. So thank you again. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it inspired you. If you enjoyed our conversation, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified of new episodes. And let's get connected. Visit debshepard.com for more insights, support, workshops, and a book a session with me. And finally, always remember, your loved ones in spirit are just a thought away. Even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side.